Hey everyone, welcome to Draw with Steph. In this channel, I draw, I paint, and I recreate artwork from some incredibly talented artists who inspire me every day. My ultimate dream is to become a great artist myself. To be totally honest, I've always been a bit intimidated by drawing side portraits. It just feels like a whole other level of difficulty. But today, I'm facing that fear head on. I'll be following a side portrait tutorial from The Artistic Army. So grab a seat, stick around, and I will do my best to make it worth your while. Have you ever had a simple act of kindness turn your world upside down? Well, here is the story of a man whose life was forever changed by what seemed like a small, but I would argue a life-altering gesture of kindness, or act of heroism in this case. So back in the early 1970s, a woman remembers a man showing up at the family house. No warning, no appointment. He walked in, placed his hat down, and made his way to meet her parents. For the sake of this story, let's call this woman Lily and her father Jack. So Lily, who was just a kid at that time, barely gave it a second thought. It wasn't until years later that Lily learned the full story behind that visit. Turns out, many years earlier, her father Jack had been serving as a naval officer. One night, while on guard duty, Jack spotted a man about to jump off the ship. Without missing a beat, he grabbed the man by his coat and hauled him back on board. Jack dragged this man to his room and spent the whole night talking to him. This man, let's call him Anthony, had just received some heart-shattering news. A telegram informing him that his wife, his son, and his unborn child had all died in a car accident. Overcome with grief, he had decided to end it all. But Jack, Lily's father, a complete stranger, saved his life, and that night, their conversation kept him from taking that final step. And so that was why years later, Anthony visited the house unannounced. He came to thank Jack. Anthony had been married, had found some measure of happiness again, despite the lingering sadness, and he was truly grateful to be alive. This story serves as a powerful reminder of something we often overlook. History is full of quiet acts of kindness and heroism. Those small, almost invisible moments that shift lives in ways we'll never fully comprehend. Most of them will never be told, fading into the shadows of time. But for that one man, one night, and one stranger changed everything. Personally, I've always had a soft spot for the untold acts of heroism. You know, the type of kindness and courage that happens out of the spotlight without an applause or cameras. What about you? How do you prefer to be a hero? In the spotlight or behind the scenes? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and a special thank you to all the unsung heroes whose stories remain untold. And that's a wrap, guys. Here's a finished side portrait. Drawing this wasn't as difficult as I imagined it to be. I decided to paint this portrait off camera because I wanted it to look realistic, and while painting, I noticed that the jaw was bigger than the model picture, so I adjusted it. Drawing the lips was a big challenge for me, but still, I'm pretty proud of this one. It's definitely the most realistic drawing I've done so far, and I can see a little resemblance to the reference image. Huge thanks to the Artistic Army for helping me get here. So what do you think? How did I do? Does it look like the reference to you? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more art adventures.